Darkness. That's the first thing I could see when I woke up. My name is Dr Alexandra Clairfield, and I was one of the scientists in the facility I worked in. My head ached. I felt like I had been struck in the front and back of my head with a crowbar. I put my hand on my aching areas to check if I was bleeding. Thankfully, my wound was minor and would likely subside shortly. Once I was on my feet, I looked around to discern where I was. I appeared to be in the lab's safety room. This shouldn't be... Personnel are only allowed in here in the event of emergencies. It was then that it hit me, that something had gone horribly wrong. The lights, of what little I could see, were dim. This must be them running on auxiliary power. But what happened to make the main power supply short out? I looked through the glass window of the room, and what I saw made me gag in fear and disgust. There was blood everywhere. On the floor, on the walls, some even on the ceiling of the halls. They couldn't have gotten out, could they? We took every precaution to ensure they couldn't escape their containment cells. It's hardly a secret now. Our lab was committing a major scientific sin. We cloned dinosaurs. I feared for my life in that moment. Did I dare open the door keeping me safe? The power would run out eventually and I'd be a sitting duck. I had no choice. I had to leave and find a way out. I entered the code on the keypad to open the door. Once the door opened, the smell quickly hit me dead on. It was rotten. My compatriots had been dead for a while, and decay started to set in. I held my hand over my nose out of disgust. I couldn't bear that smell. Suddenly, my flight or fight senses kicked in. I had no idea what it was, but something was not right here. All this blood, but no body. Not even bones. Had they dragged them off somewhere? My query was answered promptly by the low sound of a chirp. I'd know that sound anywhere. I took cover by the easiest thing I could find, a table that had been knocked over. I kept there, my heart pounding in my chest, waiting for it to pass by. Oddly, the chirp heard once wasn't heard again. I poked my head out from the table quickly to look. Nothing. Was I hearing things? I got up and slowly rounded the corner of the hallway. I peeked my head around the corner to see if it was safe, and all seemed clear. No blood, no bodies, and none of the dinosaurs. I took this as a sign to move on. I appeared to be quite wrong, however, in my observation. On the ground nearby was the severed hand of somebody. In their hand, still clutched with rigor mortis, was a handgun. Freshly fired, it seems. I had to override my fear and pry the gun from the death grip of the gored limb. It was still loaded, but wasn't full. It felt like there was about 3 bullets left, one still in the chamber. I may be a scientist, but I still had to learn how to use a gun for situations just like these. I kept the gun primed and ready for whatever was nearby. Once again, rounding a corner, I slowly sauntered so as to not make a lot of noise. My caution was rewarded because I made it into the observatory. The exit must be nearby. I walked around looking for the exit. The glass pane of the exhibit's all empty. This was not a good sign. All of the cloned dinosaurs were loose. We had cloned 5 Dakotaraptors, 1 Acrocanthosaurus, and about a dozen Dryosaurus. We had no intention of releasing them into a theme park or anything of that sort. We intended to research them for paleontological research. Notably, the exhibit that held the raptors was scratched to high hell. These were odd marks made before the breach. My heart jumped out of my throat as the alarm began to go off. I took cover immediately, hoping to hide from whatever this may attract. Why was the alarm going off now? The dinosaurs had already escaped, unless it was picking up something else. Tap, tap, tap. These were the sounds of claws on tile. It was close. One of the raptors was walking nearby. I could see nothing but a light of the alarm. The siren thankfully off. Suddenly, the tapping of claws sounded further away. It passed by me. I breathed a sigh of relief. I slowly rose from my cover, only to be greeted with eyes. In the darkness of the room, I was staring face to face with the yellow shine of the raptor's eyes. I had been lured into a trap.